A few minutes ago, Ukrainian and Russian war correspondents confirmed information that, under the pressure of Russian troops, the armed forces of Ukraine hastily left residential areas in the southwestern part of the Canal microdistrict. Surprisingly, the advance of the Russian army in the Canal microdistrict is also confirmed by Ukrainian telegram channels, citing their own sources in the Ukrainian military department. However, despite all the available evidence of the success of Russian troops in CHASIV YAR, Ukrainian propaganda, together with Ukrainian bloggers, continues to spread fake news that Russian troops allegedly left the Canal microdistrict, in the eastern part of CHASIV YAR. It seems that their fairy tales are designed only for a specialized audience, who on a subconscious level, wants to be deceived. Commenting on the advance of Russian troops in the Canal microdistrict, in a westerly direction, Ukrainian telegram channels stated that this was made possible thanks to the superiority of the Russian army in artillery, manpower, and combat aviation, which continues to use guided aerial bombs of the Fab family against the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in non-stop mode. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, General Sersky, is making every effort to stop the advance of Russian troops in CHASIV YAR. Despite the fact that at the moment, the main forces of the Ukrainian army, including reserves, are concentrated in the Kharkiv direction of the front, General Sersky and his NATO military advisors also continue to send well-armed brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine to CHASIV YAR from the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson directions of the front. In addition, there are also foreign mercenaries from the so-called Foreign Legion in CHASIV YAR, who are fighting shoulder to shoulder with Ukrainian nationalists against the Russian army. At the same time, war correspondents note that units of the Ukrainian army, including foreign mercenaries and nationalist formations, are unable to stop the advance of Russian troops in this city. It is reported that as of June 3, 2024, the units of the armed forces of Ukraine, under the onslaught of Russian troops, continue to retreat to the western part of CHASIV YAR. Moreover, over the past 24 hours, the withdrawal of some units of the armed forces of Ukraine has been recorded even across the Seversky Donets-Donbass water channel. However, the Ukrainian nationalists from the KRAKEN Regiment, who were considered the most motivated and combat-ready in CHASIV YAR, decided not to join the partially retreating units of the armed forces of Ukraine. As it turned out, the Ukrainian nationalists decided simply run away from the city, leaving their so-called brothers-in-arms one-on-one with the Russian troops. In particular, this was reported by Ukrainian prisoner of war Valentin Gridnev, who surrendered to Russian troops on July 2, in the eastern part of CHASIV YAR. According to him, the main forces of Ukrainian nationalists from the KRAKEN Regiment fled CHASIV YAR at the end of June. Moreover, the Ukrainian prisoner of war also added that only newly mobilized Ukrainian soldiers are being massively killed in CHASIV YAR, who continue to be held on the first line of defense, while foreign mercenaries, elite brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, and nationalists, are retreating to the western direction of the city. Let me remind you that this is not the first time that Ukrainian nationalists have refused to obey the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and voluntarily leave their positions. Earlier, a similar case also occurred in the Volchansk area. Back then, the Ukrainian nationalists from the Azov Battalion refused to obey the order of Commander-in-Chief General Sersky, who required them to continue offensive operations in the central part of the city. The Ukrainian nationalists voluntarily abandoned their positions, as a result of which the strategic heights in the central part of the city came under the control of the Russian army. Moreover, the commander of the Spartan Battalion, an ardent nationalist, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Bukatar, admitted in an interview with journalists that he also disobeyed the order of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, when he was ordered to go to the Lipsy area with his battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Bukatar explained his refusal to obey the order by saying that he did not want his battalion to be destroyed in Lipsy by Russian-guided aerial bombs of the Fab family. Well, my friends, such brazen actions by Ukrainian nationalists, who are not even afraid to admit to journalists that they do not obey the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, indicates that the Kiev regime, led by Vladimir Zelensky, has finally lost control over all nationalist formations in Ukraine.